The children within Attack on Titan are very fascinating. The children within Paradise and the children within Marley have a lot of common connection. They share a common ground. Unfortunately, that common ground is not a good one. Growing up as a child within Paradise and Marley is detrimental. Paradise in itself is an anomaly. A city surrounded by walls, surrounded by titans, completely closed off to the outside world. Marley, on the other hand, is manipulation at its finest, raising their children to become warriors, instilling a very vicious ideology of hatred towards the people of Paradise and towards Eldians. The saddest thing about this is that the children within Attack on Titan can't necessarily be children for long. They're thrown into a very adult world, a very vicious one, and the cycle of hatred within Attack on Titan is propelled forward into the next generation. The higher-ups and the politics within it are enforced onto these children at such a young age, so they can grow to hate these people, to hate themselves, but to do something about it in a very malicious way. As of recently, we've gotten a lot more spotlight with children from Marley, as Marley's routine when it comes to raising their children is extremely hostile, malicious, it's detrimental, it's horrible, to say the least. They go above and beyond to enforce this concept into their children, to make them think a certain type of way, to make them hate Eldian people, to fear them, to want to kill them. They then enlist these children into the military very subtly, with the hopes that these children, obviously bearing the future of hatred, will come to wield a Titan shifting ability. If not, they still will be in the military if they want to, and they'll continue the agenda forward. Gabi has been the center spotlight of this, and it's pretty much the biggest reason why she's so important at the moment. As yes, we have seen a lot of different perspectives from people within Marley being raised and growing up within the communities and how the politics affected them, such as Reiner, such as Zeke. But with Gabi, we get a completely new perspective, one that parallels Eren Jaeger. And what's eerily incredible about this is that you see the scary nature firsthand of what Gabi has gone through. She obviously has been manipulated and warped in such a very detrimental way, yet she's also experienced the destruction of her city by Eren Jaeger. She's seen the death of her friends and close loved ones firsthand, and this has fueled her new form of hatred more so. It's embedded within her, and she's retaliated in such a way, taking out a very main cast member known as Sasha. If anything were to show how prominent and successful Marley is in creating these child warriors, Gabi would be the perfect example. Someone so young and should be so innocent to the world, experiencing all of these things so tremendously quickly, to then killing a very important person within the main cast. She has cemented her role within the story, but she's quickly taken out of Marley and chucked within Paradise, where she herself first-handly encounters Eldian people for the first time. Innocent Eldian people for the first time. We get to see her thought process behind this, how she treats them, how she approaches them, how scared of them she is. But even with all of this past experience very fresh in her mind, seeing the death of all of these people surrounding her, the destruction of her city and everything that she's learned over the years, she slowly starts to understand Eldian people. It's not an immediate process, but it's slow and it's changing and it's evolving. She's stuck behind enemy lines with the people that she hates, the people that she was raised to hate. And the way this parallels with Eren as of recently is beautiful, to say the least. Both Eren and Gabi share a very similar arc, not only with how they were raised within their respective places, but also the development of their mind, how they view the world, how they understand things. And I think this is a big reason why Isayama is using Gabi as the forefront of Marley's children and the perspective that they hold, because the importance of them to the continuation of this cycle of hatred. For the cycle of hatred to continue, fear and hatred has to be instilled into the next generation. Gabi is an anomaly, and so is Eren. Both have broken off into completely different directions that they were never meant to go down, that they were specifically molded and manipulated to not go towards. And this comes through with experience. As much as you manipulate someone, as much as you can control the way a person thinks and acts and has this emotional connection to said things, when it comes to first-hand experiences, a lot of these things can be overwritten. And as much as experience can be very detrimental, very hurtful, they strike deep to the core and they make you reevaluate things. They make you reevaluate your own perspective, your own emotion, your own importance. Is this bigger than yourself? Is this bigger than the people surrounding you? Is this as big as the world? Both Eren and Gabi have gone through this process in their own respective ways. Very similar to one another, they have come to view things from different perspectives and they've come to understand things. Gabi is on the shorter side of just reaching these limits, whereas Eren has gone far beyond the realm of even trying anymore. One is just reaching that understanding point and the other is done trying to understand, done trying to change things. I think out of all the people that Isayama could have put spotlight on, I think choosing Gabi out of everyone was an incredible thing. Not only does she go through this growth after all the experience that she's had, finds herself kind of overpowering these emotions that would bring her down, this fire starts to burn up within her. It's not fire of anger or revenge or anything along those lines. It's a fire of pushing forward. She has to push forward to save the people that she loves. And her biggest connection to that is Falco. With everything that's going on, with Eren turning into this massive titan and the wall titans roaming around, the danger is very prominent, and the previous Gabi would most likely hold a lot of fear. She wouldn't want to go outside. She'd try to run away. She'd be scared. But the Gabi now that has evolved is pushing forward beyond her own limitations. The panel of Gabi tying up her hair within the mirror, sharing a very uncanny resemblance to Eren when he decided on these things, when he pushed himself to fight. It's exactly what Gabi was doing. It was the process of pushing herself to fight, changing herself and her appearance to allow access to this newfound confidence, and she does thrive within it. Right after it, however, there is a very important thing that takes place regarding an idea towards Eren. As much as she is internally fighting for these things now, as much as she is well and truly still scared, her perspective towards Eren has shifted rather tremendously. Before, it was kill, 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 because that's all she ever knew. However, now the ideas that come into her mind relating to the possibilities of what Eren could be able to do takes place. The possibility of turning Falco back to normal, the possibility of Eren destroying only the military might towards other nations. It's a very small thing, and it's her throwing out theories, but it's very important and it's very impactful, as it showcases that originally the Gabi before would have wanted Eren dead and would have blamed him and would have completely shut him down. She would have been terrified. But now there's a bit of understanding at play. It doesn't mean that she accepts or wants Eren to continue doing what he's doing, but her hatred for Eldians, her hatred for Eren in return has also subsided. Something that was instilled into her from day one, to hate Eldians, is slowly trickling away. And her biggest fear, the trigger point for all of this emotion that she's had, the death of her friends, is because of Eren. She understands that. She sees that differently. Eren is unstoppable from her point of view, but yet she still shifts it in a somewhat understanding positive way, that Eren could have the potential to do all of these things, that could use his abilities for different things, instead of annihilating the world. She's thinking about other people. She's thinking about her family, her friends. Indirectly, she's also thinking about Eldians. Over the past couple of months, Gabi has played an extremely important role to not only understanding the children of Marley and getting a better understanding on how they treat them, how they manipulate them, but also how that parallels the children of paradise, and how Gabi and Eren, as much as they are very similar, as much as they are grown in different places, share a lot of connection. Indirectly, once they're pushed past their limits and they start to realize things, they start to grow and evolve, they start wanting the same things. They start thinking very similar ways. Eren's is a lot more grand scale, trying to annihilate the world. And Gabi is catching up right behind him, trying to understand Eldians, trying to funnel Eren in a specific idea or a specific direction instead of flat out trying to kill him, instead of flat out throwing hatred at him. It's important for us as readers to see both sides of this, and as much as it is tragic that these children can't grow up and be children for too long, it's beautifully portrayed between both sides. And from here on out, Gabi is going to play more of an importance to understanding Marley's perspective and Marley's children, but also how she grows independently, because she has grown independently for quite a bit. She's showcased herself in many incredible ways, and she is one of the only persons from Marley that has that importance within her. The idea of a future is interesting when you connect it with Gabi, what she could bring to the table, what she could put onto the next generation. As I guarantee, if within some perfect world with perfect situations and outcomes, if Gabi were to push this ideology onto the next generation, it wouldn't be an ideology of hatred, it'd be an ideology of understanding. She would most likely push forward to do something better with this information, not to continue the cycle with how Marley originally wanted it to be, just like Eren, and how he is pushing forward outside of realm that no one would have ever expected, taking up this mantle, searching for so many different outcomes and ways that he could set his people free, and unfortunately not finding any, but he's still not backing down, and neither will Gabi. I, for one, personally adore Gabi's perspective and her character. I know a lot of people don't necessarily like her, and that's perfectly understandable. You like who you like, you hate who you hate. But she's without a doubt playing a very important role here, a very vital piece of information and perspective and a viewpoint that we originally knew nothing about, and it's most likely only going to grow from here. So with that being said, that is basically it. Let me know how you feel about Gabi and her connection with Eren. I'd really love to hear your thoughts. But I'm actually going to end the video here. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.